So, I have nothing to talk about, so I will just choose something. And the first thing that came into my little tiny mind was the Hittites. A Bronze Age civilization that we don't know too much about, but we know some things, and with some things I mean I could get a whole video, and the script was almost as long as the Rome script, so yeah. So let's jump into it and see what I can find and then tell you about it. So, where they came from. So, we don't know exactly where they came from, but scholars think they came from modern day Ukraine and then went into Anatolia somewhere around 2000 BC. So, what did they do? So, to establish a thing, the Hittites were chariots lover, and they may even have invented them. At least they founded a heavy chariot that was great at using them. So that was all for today. Of course not, I am kidding. So the Hittites seem to have had a writing system as early as the 18th century BC, when they wrote tablets. Most of the tablets that has survived is Akkadian copies from the 14th and the 13th century. So, they had a monarch, as most kingdoms in this period, they are kingdoms, so of course they had a king. So, the Hittites had two branches of the line, the southern and the northern. The Hittites were not exactly united yet, so the two branches fought, taking each other's cities and whatnot, until two men after each other came. Labarna the First and Hattusili the First. So Labarna conquered south and north of the capital of the northerners, Hattusa. Then we have Hattusili the First, who went campaigning in Syria of many, but didn't take the capital of Aleppo, so he conquered Hattusa, and it is he that we credit for the founding of the Hittite Empire, or the Hittite Kingdom. So Hattusili was a guy who liked conquering, as many people in this story has done. He took many countries and cities with his new united army and people. But as usual, someone became corrupt. In this case, the princess's servants, which was plotting against their masters and killed them. The princesses also became corrupt, and when Hattusili died, he had chosen Mursili I as his heir. Mursili was also a conqueror. He raided everywhere into Mesopotamia and did so. But he had to return home, and with him the Hittite army too. But he got another chance and went far into Mesopotamia and ransacked Babylon, and instead of annexing it, he gave it to his Kassite allies in 1531 BC. Shortly after the return of Mursili, he was assassinated and the empire plunged into chaos. So after Mursili died, the next king ascended to the throne, Telepinu. He fixed the chaos, which was nice. When he died, the old kingdom was gone, which only had 3 rulers, Hattusili I, Mursili I, and Telepinu. So now we enter the middle kingdom, which is just a long, weak phase to the Hittites, so we skip to the new kingdom. The king that put the Hittite kingdom on the map again and made it get the name the Hittite Empire in modern eyes was Tudhaliye I, and the picture that you see on the screen is the Hittite Empire at its greatest extent. So he made the empire good again. He made the kingship an office that is hereditary and that the kings were looked upon as gods. He formed some alliances and died, and after that the empire fell into a new weak phases. How many weak phases will this empire have? Then someone attacks and even raised the capital of Hattusa. So now a new king comes and makes the empire fall out of a weak phase. So he conquered Aleppo again, as every king seems to do, and then Egypt was seeking an alliance by marriage. So they did it. Unfortunately, the person was murdered before reaching its destination, so that wasn't bad. The Assyrians had also begun doing things the king was afraid of, and they nabbed a little bit of northeast Syria. Then his son took over and did some things to the west, and we found that the tablets and text under his reign had some shit going on in Greece. So the Battle of Kadesh happened because of trade route things and importance of that of northern Syria. So the Hittites came and battled. The only thing that prevented the Hittites from completely winning was the Egyptians' reinforcements. They came in time and forced the Hittites back to the fortress of Kadesh. But the losses of the Egyptians stopped them from besieging the fort, so it was a draw, I guess. So now we come to the downfall of the Hittites. So it was because of the Assyrians. They came and took a bunch of land. They even allied with Egypt. The Hittites though, but it didn't help, and then they got invaded from all directions and their capital was burned to the ground and they fell out of existence and their kingdom collapsed. And their kingdom collapse was just a part of the Bronze Age collapse, where all kingdom in the Middle East and Eastern Mediterranean, except Egypt, collapsed. The summary. So, this took a lot of research and some time to write the script, so I hope you liked it. The Hittites, probably one of the earliest people that came to the power, and that was all. And this was IVTM, and bye bye!